Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the University of Florida's O'Connell Pool for the 2024 CWPA Men's Club National Championship. The next game is Game 10, which features in the dark caps the Penn State University Nittany Lions, and in the white caps, the United States Military Academy Cadets. Everyone needs to be on their best behavior. Please support the participants and officials in a positive manner. Anyone who fails to do so may be removed from the pool. Also remember that alcohol and tobacco products within the competition site are prohibited. This is Scott S. D. Weiss of the CWPA-TV.com. It's the evening of Friday, November 8th, 2024. We're already at to Game 10 of 12 of the day. We've had lots of exciting action. We've had a few close games. There have been already 4 games decided by 2 or fewer goals, including one that went to sudden victory in Game 8, which saw Virginia defeat Colorado 15-14 in sudden victory. Penn State had an 11-9 loss in Game 6 to Washington University St. Louis. The Army Cadets lost to Cal Maritime Academy 16-9, a game which had been within reach throughout, just could not figure out the recipe in the fourth quarter. The Cadets did. And we're coming up on Veterans Day, so I'd like to thank those who are in branches of military for their service. But we still got a couple more games to go here. From Gainesville, day 1 of free action. We've had 2 out of 8 teams seeded lower advance to the next round. These teams are trying to remain in contention for 9th place. Army wins the sprint. So the Cadets will get off and running here. Going right to left in dark. Stop there by the keeper, Dan Tumolo. Outlet to PSU's Brian Yaglenski, number 6 in dark. Penn State, the Mid-Atlantic champion. Then we'll go the other way. Army, New York Division champs for the 3rd straight year. Actually was not the regular season champ in the New York Division. That was Cornell. Skip shot off the iron. Rebound by Leslie Baca. Army coached by John Baca. Head coach of the Nittany Lions out of State College, PA, is Chad Crump. Todd Ross is assistant. Now breaking aside inside 6 meters, 15 in the shot clock, pushed aside by 1A Joshua Merrill. 2 meter for the Nittany Lions. That'll be from number 1. The officials for this game are Jorge Villalobos and Stephanie Villalobos, both of Sanford, Florida. You win this game, you play at least 2 more games in the tournament. You lose this game, your final game will be tomorrow. And that is from long range. Hello, Nittany Lions on the board. Penn State goals scored by number 9 in dark, Louis Porter. His first of the game. 5:27 to go in the first quarter. PSU 1, Army 0. And we'll go the other way. Army defeated Cornell in the New York Division title game 19-15 in overtime at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute October 20th. Think about outscoring the Big Red 4 in extra session. Penn State though on attack. And in regular season play, Army split with Cornell. Skips on the bang. That's Danny Crump.
Penn State goal scored by number 2 in dark, Danny Crump. His first, 4:53 remaining in the first quarter. Penn State in dark 2, Army in white 0.
Cadets looking to get on the board. They will do so from long range.
Army goal scored by number 9 in white, Christopher Pereira.
His first of the game. 4:39 to go in the first quarter. Penn State 2, Army 1. Cadets now on defense as Joshua Merrill makes the stop. Cadets 3-time reigning New York Division champ. 2021 lost to Cornell in the title game. What's surprising is Army had won over 40 games in division play in a row up to that point in 2021. But Army's got a new streak going, not in terms of wins in a row, but titles in a row. It's now 3 and counting in division play. Army has won more than 10 New York Division titles. PSU driving inside 2 meters. That is off of Merrill. 2 meter to be awarded to Penn State with 3:48 to go in the first quarter. Nittany Lions have a couple of those. So you know that both teams are driving and being aggressive. Swing there by Porter. Broken up by the Cadets. Winner of this game will take on the winner of game 11, which is between Oregon and Iowa State. That's to follow this one. You lose this game, you take on the loser of Oregon and Iowa State tomorrow evening to determine 13-15 play. So a lot at stake here. Going the other way for Tomolo. Dan Tomolo. That was set up by Ryan McLaughlin. Now from the 5 position, set up for the hole. Crump trying to set for the hole. That's a dangerous pass, and there's going to be an exclusion.
Exclusion foul for Army.
Power play for Penn State. Penn State power play goal scored by number 16 in dark, Nathan Weaver. His first. 2:42 remaining in the first quarter. Penn State 3, Army 1. That's a job well done on the man advantage for Weaver, a grad from London, Ontario, Canada. And that was an offensive foul. A little bit of a tug that goes back to the Nittany Lions. Believe it or not, except for Weaver, everyone else is from the Keystone State. Set up there from Max McGovern. That is over the prize. Goal for here for Joshua Merrill. Hasn't been easy for Army the last few years in the National Collegiate Club Championship. Trying to get a win here to put the New York Division in a better spot. Skip shot and a bang. Robbie DeMont doing the long distance call.
Army goal scored by number 2 in the Whitecaps, Robbie DeMont.
His first. 1:48 to go in the first quarter. Penn State 3, Army 2.
Could not get the turnover there. Penn State still driving left to right, while Army's going right to left.
The Cadets able to pull it off and turn it over. Penn State wanted the ball under, could not. Nittany Lions defeated Villanova in the first place game of the Mid-Atlantic by a score of 17-9 in State College on October 20th. Long heave there after that. Oh, and pushes ahead, and Danny Crump's got another, his second.
Penn State goal scored by number 2 in dark, Danny Crump. His second of the game. 1:14 remaining in the first quarter. Nittany Lions in dark 4, Cadets in white 2.
And a lot of exciting games today. The one game that might not get a lot of attention was when Boston University defeated Oregon 18-12. That was BU's first ever win in this tournament. That's BU making its inaugural appearance. But Boston University tomorrow will have a tough matchup against the host, University of Florida Gators. The Gators among the teams that could hit 10 for a title. And I believe that's game 14 between BU and UF. Actually, that's game 15. Florida and BU. Head coach Chad Crump a little displeased. Boy, benches throughout this tournament so far have really been passionate. Pushed aside by Merrill, and the Shotcocks unplugged for Army. 4-2 to score for PSU Nittany Lions. The Cadets of the United States Military Academy trying to forge ahead. A nice swivel and a score.
Army goal scored by number 3 in white, Max Orlowski. His first of the game. 10.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Penn State 4, Army 3, Shotcock unplugged at 7.
There's 6 seconds left. Max McGovern out ahead. 3 seconds now. Trying to go for the lob. It looks like an exclusion.
Army exclusion, number 9 in white, Christopher Pereira. That is the end of the first quarter. After 7 minutes, Penn State in the dark caps 4. Army in the white caps 3. Got ourselves an interesting one so far. Danny Crump leads the way for Penn State with 2, with 2 other players with solo tallies. 3 separate scorers paced away for the Cadets. We got a good one brewing in game 10.
Hi, I'm Brad Schumacher, co-founder of Cap 7 International. Hi, I'm Wolf Weigo. Cap 7 is the best ball in the world. It's used by the top athletes. When you have a Cap 7 ball in the pool, you can just feel the quality, you can feel the grip. It makes you just want to pick that ball up, squeeze it, and start faking like crazy. Cap 7, the best ball in the world.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Hugo from Cap 7. This goal is great because it folds in the size of a backpack. You can take it to the beach, you can take it to the lake. If you're short on deck storage space, you can fold it up and put it in the closet. It's a great training tool. Get yours at cap7.com.
Hey fans, the CWPA offers a variety of tournament and league t-shirts, shorts, fleeces, and other apparel for fans of water polo and the league. Check out the concessions table located at the entrance because we may run out before you know it, so get your CWPA gear today. Penn State leads 4-3 over Army, entering the second quarter in Game 10. Following this game will be Game 11 between the Oregon Ducks and Iowa State Cyclones. Both of these teams are vying for a shot at 9th place, and the quest starts here. Penn State wins the tip and calls 30-second timeout to set the continuation of the power play that ended from when the first quarter ended. So Nittany Lions are still on the 6-on-5 for about 17 seconds. Now we'll take up top. Beater motion now from the 5 inside. Good setup though, but that one's squibbling back home. Joshua Merrill will have the outlet. The coming back after being excluded was number 9, Christopher Pereira, who scored one of 3 Army's goals. Sidearm from the backhand. And we're knotted up at 4. Army goal scored by number 3 in white, Max Orlowski. Second of the game. 6:35 remaining in the second quarter. Army 4, Penn State 4. So 4 in the first. And not any yet in the second. How did that not cross? The crossbar with the save. Right, see if this could lead to the first lead of the game for the Cadets. Broken up though by Matthew Fensel. Now taking his time, Dan Tomolo. Brian Jaglenski. Jaglenski having trouble there. Danny Crump, who had a pair of goals in the first. We got another exclusion, this time on number 17. Army exclusion, number 17 in white, Carter Hickam. Possession back to the Cadets. The Army gets a steal out of West Point, New York. We're at the O'Connell Center Pool on the campus of University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida. And we have a kickout called by Stephanie Villalobos. Penn State exclusion, number 2 in dark, Danny Crump. Power play, Army. 9 seconds left in the power play. Off the iron. About 5 seconds now. Strength is even, but doesn't matter. The Cadets are firing on all cylinders right now. It's working. It's Wesley Baca for the first time. Army goal scored by number 4 in white, Wesley Baca. His first of the game. 5:15 remaining in the second quarter. Army in white 5, Penn State in dark 4. Cadets had a slow start. And this is just like game 8. One team has a rough start and then able to find its bearings. But there's the response for the Lions. Penn State goal scored by number 4 in dark, Matthew Fensel. Fensel's first. 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Penn State in dark 5, Army in white 5. Cadets back on attack. Off of the crossbar, back to reality. Go the Cadets, and we have another kick out. That's on the noggin. That's, I think, on Colin Henry. Penn State exclusion of number 10 in dark, Colin Henry. Power play, Army. Blocked to the field. It's block party time. Colin Henry can re-enter now. So the Cadets outscoring the Lions in the second quarter 2-1 after being outscored 4-3 in the opening 7 minutes. Another ordinary foul. Under 5 seconds, and that one's heading back to State College. Skip way beyond. Go throw here for Merrill. He'll apply this next course of action. Delivers the goods. Off the iron again. A lot of crossbar denials in this one. Army looking for a win here because in 2022, the Cadets finished tied for 15th. Last year, the Cadets also finished tied for 15th. Last time a New York Division team had won a National Collegiate Club Championship game was, I believe, Cornell in 2021. Timeout. Got 3:43 to go in the first half. 5 for Penn State and 5 for Army. Army has possession out of the timeout. The score is knotted up at 5 apiece. Cadets get back to work now. With 3 in the first, 2 so far in the second. Army with 12 on the shot clock. Looking for its second lead of the game. Ordinary foul now at 8 seconds. Army's had a few different scorers. I think 4 different to be exact. Penn State's also had 4 different players reach the back of the net. 3:10 remaining in the first half. We are not up at 5 apiece. Ball is loose. It's just an ordinary foul. It'll reset from around the 6-meter area, the right flat. Crump, who has a pair, set for the hole. Ball was loose and it looked like pinball action. The Cadets able to be unscathed on that one. Army now digging deep. That's a kick out. Penn State exclusion foul on number 7, Ryan McLaughlin. Well, McLaughlin, the guilty party, has to be out for another 7 seconds. Well, it's field block time. Block party there for Dan Tumolo. Now they'll go back to work, and the line's looking to regain the edge. Penn State had won 3 in a row to conclude Mid-Atlantic Division play. After a 14-13 loss to Villanova on October 6th, that was right before the division championship. 1 second, and will be able to beat the gong. Penn State goal scored by number 9, Louis Porter, his second. 1:56 remaining in the second quarter. Penn State 6, Army 5. That was in the nick of time, too. There was only 1 second left. And Porter just let it loose, and it worked. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck. A little luck can go a long way. That is into the corner. We'll see if Penn State's fortunes continue. That left from Tomolo. Now to the right flat position. Set up inside 2 meters to the hole. There's a big opening. Brought back to reality. And that touches the rope. Army fortunate there. That was dangerous indeed. And Joshua Merrill needed to puff his chest out there. The response! The net was wide open on the left side. How about Frankie Fratellizio? Army goal scored by number 6 in white, Frankie Fratellizio. First of the game, 1:13 remaining in the second quarter. Army 6, Penn State 6. It wouldn't be something if we had another game go to overtime in this tournament. Hold on. Don't count that save. There was an exclusion. Army is called for the exclusion. 20 seconds left on the shot clock and 7 seconds on the power play, or PSU. Eddie Lyons got a few ticks left here. Strength is even. And Louis Porter got another. Penn State goals scored by number 9 in dark, Louis Porter. Third of the game. 43 seconds to play in the second quarter. Penn State 7, Army 6. Oh, the U.S. Military Academy. Unable to do anything on this possession. Cadets had won 9 straight New York Division games entering this tournament. Lost to Cornell on September 21st, 22-13 at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York. Army is not known for giving up 20 or more goals to an opponent in division play. 3 seconds, brushed aside. That is over the prize, 2 seconds. We'll go all in by Merrill. At the end of 2 quarters of game 10, the score, Pennsylvania State in the dark caps 7. Army in the white caps 6. So Army had 3 in the first, 3 in the second. Penn State 4 in the first, 3 in the second. Plenty of action here. Go back and forth. Army had a 1-goal lead, but Penn State is back out in front by 1. Scott S.D. Weiss, don't go away. We still got more to come here in game 10 between Penn State and Army.
Jack Bowen, and here's this week's goalie tip of the week.
Today we're going to talk about developing a goalie-specific warm-up. Goalkeepers have different physiological needs from the rest of the players, and so should have a slightly different warm-up. Maybe they get in with the team and do the first part of the warm-up as a team, so they're warming up together, but then typically goalies want to think about breaking off. And now, here again, different goalies will likely have different sorts of warm-ups. They should all involve some sort of light swimming to get the heart rate up, muscles a little bit loose, and then after that light swimming, doing a little bit of stretching. And from that point, here's where goalies differentiate. I myself wanted to do a lot of really explosive work, a lot of double lunges, getting my leg speed up really high. But some other goalies, Dan Hackett liked to get in front of the goal and sort of peacefully go across the goal, mapping up his positioning with the opposite goal. And this is not to say that one warm-up is better than the other. Dan's approach got me feeling too lethargic, whereas my approach got Dan feeling too jumpy and out of control. And so what's important is when you start getting in the pool, pay attention to what you're doing and what works and what doesn't work. And then secondly, make sure you're differentiating your warm-up from the remainder of your training, because there's a different mentality. When you're warming up, you're truly getting yourself ready to do the things that you want to do in a game. And so it shouldn't be confused with your fundamentals and technique. That's a separate focus after you've warmed up. And it shouldn't be confused with your conditioning, because you don't want to blend those together. I think one of the challenges as an athlete and as a goalkeeper is making sure that these are separate. You have your warm-up, then typically you have your conditioning. And one thing that I don't like to have our goalies do is blend conditioning with fundamentals. Sometimes I see goalies doing sets of 30 high corner lunges. And by the 20th high corner lunge, their technique starts to falter. Instead, find a way to really focus on your legs, do the conditioning that your legs need, then recover, and then make your fundamentals and technique really high quality, low quantity. That's where you're establishing your habits. And it all starts from taking that warm-up seriously. For more goalie tips, check out Collegiate Water Polo Association's video library.
Teams now switch sides for the third quarter and the fourth quarter. Penn State in the dark cap 7, Army in the white 6. Following this game would be game 11 between the Oregon Ducks and Iowa State Cyclones. We got a good one brewing here in game 10. Scott S. D. Weiss at CWPA.tv.com from the O'Connell Center Pool in Gainesville, Florida, University of Florida. Army in white going left to right. PSU in dark right to left. Army wins the sprint. Cadets looking to get back on track, led by as many as one in the first half. 7-6 Lions, and that's heading back to the Empire State. Army looking to lock down on defense here as we see the Cadets for the first time this second half on defense. Penn State looking to extend its lead. Porter. You know, Nathan Weaver, who scored in the first, the only Nittany Lion not from the Keystone State. Oh, that's from wrong lane. Chadlow. That's the second goal of the game for Matthew Fensel. That's from over 6 meters. Penn State goal scored by number 4 in dark, Matthew Fensel. Second in the game, 6.5 minutes to go in the third. 8-6 Nittany Lions. New York Division teams have now lost 7 straight games at National Collegiate Club Championships. New York. Army West Point trying to put a damper to that.
Broken up by the cadets. Wesley Baca. Excursion foul on number 16 in Penn State, Nathan Weaver. Power play, Army. Army goal on the power play, scored by number 6 in white, Frankie Fredolizio. Second of the game. 5:36 to play in the third quarter. Penn State in dark 8, Army in white 7. Army isn't going anywhere quite yet. Cadets hung around in its opening round loss to Cal Maritime. And Jorge Villalobos calls a penalty. Army penalty called on number 6, Frankie Fredolizio. Taking the 5-meter, Ryan McLaughlin of Penn State. And McLaughlin now to get it back in front. And there will be another goal here. And it's good for Ryan McLaughlin. Penn State 5-meter penalty shot successful for number 7 in dark, Ryan McLaughlin. Penn State 9. Army 7 with 5:22 to go in the third. Army able to get possession back. Fredolizio, who has a pair of goals. Fredolizio from the left flat. That's a great feed and a finish. Sharing is caring there. How about Wesley Baca for the second time to get within one? Army goal scored by number 4 in dark, Wesley Baca. His second. 5:04 to go in the third. PSU in dark 9, Army in white 8. The Lions carried a 7-6 lead over to this quarter. And they exchange scores there. Looks like that might have been Porter. Penn State goal scored by number 9 in dark, Louis Porter. His fourth. It's now 10-8 Nittany Lions. Army trying to keep Arm's pace here. Good setup inside if you're the Cadets. However, broken up loosely. Clean pick there for PSU. These teams both lost opening round matchups, so they could not go to the final. Army was the national champ back in 1994. Penn State was last in a final in 1998. Looks like we're going to have another 5-meter opportunity for Ryan McLaughlin. Ryan McLaughlin will take another penalty shot for PSU. Merrill puffs out his chest. Unable to get a steal there. Oh, Joshua Merrill on that. That's a big-time stop. However, same thing. Number 13. Army penalty on number 13 in white. Resulting in another 5-meter. The skip shot and the bang. Penn State 5-meter penalty. Scored by number 2 in dark, Danny Crump, his third goal. Timeout, Army, a full timeout. 4:10 remaining in the third quarter. Penn State 11. Army 8. Penn State leads 11-8. Army will have possession out of the full timeout with 4:10 to go in the third. Army's got its largest deficit after having a 1-goal lead at one point in the second quarter. So that was definitely not what Army had in mind. It's going to be an exclusion as well on the Cadets. Army exclusion on number 21 in white, Jeremy Poster. Jeremy Poster able to get back in. Cadets able to make amends there. But really, Army needs to get things going on the scoreboard. Army needs to find a nice turn and finds room. Definitely much needed for the Cadets to make it 11-9, a 2-goal deficit. Army goal scored by number 9 in white, Christopher Pereira, his second. 3:33 to go in the third. 11-9 in favor of Penn State. We got a kick out, so a fresh 30. Army exclusion on number 3 in white, Max Orowski. Power play, Nittany Lions. Power play is good for Danny Crump. Penn State goal scored by number 2 in dark on the power play, Danny Crump. His fourth. 3:06 remaining in the third quarter. Penn State in the dark caps 12. Army in the white 9. Army very much alive still. And exactly with plays like that, that's how you get it done. Pereira. Army goal. Scored by number 9 in white, Christopher Pereira. His third of the game. 2:50 to go in the third. Penn State 12, Army 10. Army comes up with a loose change. This is the third straight game in this tournament actually fourth straight game in which both teams scored 10 or more. Wide right, go throw here for tomorrow. So this is the fourth game of this tournament so far where the losing team is going to have at least 10. Full timeout, Penn State. 2:23 to go in the third quarter. Penn State 12. Army 10. Penn State will have possession out of its full timeout. The Nittany Lions lead 12-10. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Game 11 for Game 18 tomorrow. The loser of this game will take on the loser of Game 11 in Game 24 tomorrow. Penn State has the ball. Penn State going right to left. Jeremy Poster now has to do a switch. Actually, that's Max Orowski who had to switch. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Penn State inside enemy territory. 4 seconds left. If you're Army, you cannot foul. Broken up by Christopher Pereira. Exactly what the Cadets ordered. 1:50 to go in the third. Plenty of water polo left. A yellow card has been shown to Penn State.
Yellow card has been shown by Stephanie Villalobos to Penn State.
Unclear what the yellow card would have been for. But right now, Army really stifling Penn State despite the Nittany Lions 2-goal edge. 23 to go in the third. And the Army's continuing its defensive presence. Head coach John Buck is saying, go all the way, everyone. Joshua Merrill. Orowski. Backpedaling. Unless that's Robbie the Knot. Unable to get the back of the net is Jeremy Poster. Posts up and scores.
Army goal scored by number 21 in white, Jeremy Poster. First of the game. 1:03 remaining in the third quarter. PSU in dark 12, Army in white 11.
Army had entered this tournament on a 9-game division win streak. The Cadets had scored double figures in every New York division game this season. So the 9 goals and the 69 loss to Cal Maritime was a season low.
Exclusion foul on Army, power play for the Nittany Lions, that's on Jeremy Poster.
Believe one more would send them all out of the game.
Skip shot by Porter. No, nothing doing there. 30 seconds to go in the third. Army is definitely alive and well.
He's got one full and 1 30-second timeout left. John Buckham may want to keep it toward the latter part of this one. Got 10 seconds left on the power play, 20 seconds left in the quarter. Let's go the other way.
Shot clock and plug for Penn State.
This game is far from over. It's got the potential for an epic finish. Merrill out of bounds. After 21 minutes, the score, Penn State in the Dark Caps 12, Army in the White Caps 11. We got ourselves a good one heading to the fourth quarter. We just don't want you to go away. We got maybe 7 more minutes left in this one. We've already seen one game go to sudden victory. Virginia over Colorado in game 8, 15-14 in extras. So stick around.
Cap 7 head guard. This product was designed specifically to reduce the risk. You can't prevent a concussion, but you can definitely reduce the impact by wearing a Cap 7 head guard. The most important thing when you look at this cap specifically is the dimples. This has been tested by University of California, Irvine and been proven to reduce impact by 25%. To put the cap on specifically, you have to have your hair wet. Okay, it's just like putting on any sort of swim cap. So I want to hook it in on the front of my head and then pull it down around. Goes on really quickly and easily. If you try to put it on with dry hair, you're likely to pull your hair out and you're likely to rip the head guard. Now, depending on the cap you have, I recommend doing this in front of a mirror, but as you see again, hooking in on the front first, and even without a mirror, I can just feel around and slap the cap right on. I highly, highly recommend this for any full contact drills during practice. It's the no-brainer when it comes to reducing the risk. Cap 7 head guards, check it out at cap7.com. Hi, I'm Wolf Weiger with Cap 7. There's one more quarter to go in this game. Fourth quarter coming up now.
Entering the fourth quarter of Game 10. The score, Penn State in the Dark Caps 12. Army in the White Caps 11. Following this game will be Game 11 between the Oregon Ducks and Iowa State Cyclones. Both the Ducks and Cyclones of Oregon and Iowa State lost opening round matchup. Army wins the fourth quarter sprint. Army is trailed by as many as 3, led by as many as 1. And that is broken up there by Dan Tomolo. Tomolo will plot his next court with that and advances ahead to mid-pool to Colin Henry. Henry setting up inside the 6. Back to Henry. Out of reach. Gets a bailout there. Set up inside. That's got to be a 5-meter. That would have been a clear scoring opportunity. That is the third foul on Jeremy Poster. He is out of the game with 3 exclusions. Jeremy Poster is out. It'll be a 5-meter penalty shot for Louis Porter of Penn State. Stop there, and it's another one for Porter. Penn State penalty goals scored by number 9 in dark, Louis Porter, his 5th. 6:20 remaining in the fourth. 13-11 Nittany Lions. The Porter stretches the lead back to 2. Olowski. Back to Olowski from the left flat. Olowski showing the egg beater. Will swing it aside. 12 on the shot clock. 6 minutes to go in regulation. That might not be enough. Ordinary foul. 7 seconds off the iron. Fresh 30. And possession restored. And Army knows it's not done yet. Army goal scored by number 9. Scored by number 9 in right, Christopher Pereira. He's now got 4. Under 5:45 to go in regulation, 13-12 Lions. Stop down. Stop by the Cadets, and that is broken up by Tomorrow. 2 meters for Army. Will be taken at the 1. Cadets really alive in this one. Dangerous setup. Looked like there was no chance of getting it there. So Penn State 4 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third. 1 so far in the fourth. For Army, 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third, 1 so far in the fourth.
And lots of water polo still to be played here at the O'Connell Center at University of Florida. A lot of action going on here. In fact, there's a women's volleyball match that has also been taking place tonight. And Penn State able to stretch his lead back to 2. Penn State goal scored by number 4 and dark Matthew Fensel. Third of the game. 4:59 remaining in the fourth. Penn State in the dark caps 13, Army in the white 12. We got Oregon and Iowa State to come after this. Iowa State lost 27-5 earlier today against Florida. Oregon 18-12 loss to Boston University. Iowa State in this tournament for the first time in 10 years. Army knows it's not done yet. Army goal scored by number 3 in white, Max Olewski. Third of the game. 14 for Penn State, 13 for Army under 4:40 remaining in regulation. Both of these teams in the past have been in National Collegiate Club Championship Finals. Army won back in 1994. Penn State had been runner-up in the late 90s. And John Baca's in disbelief. Goal for the Nittany Lions gets it back to a 2-goal advantage for the Nittany Lions with 4:20 remaining in the fourth. 15-13 now. Michigan defeated Georgia Tech in game 9, 15-13. So lots of goals lately. Backpedaling. There'll be a 2-meter on the attempt by 2-meter for Army. Set up. 30 seconds on the possession timer. 4 minutes remaining in regulation. 15-13. Trying to go for the no-look lob. Ball is loose. Dan Tumoli to come up with the loose chain. Army still has 1 full and 1 30-second timeout. State has 2 full 0 30-second timeout. So Army is in good shape, but we'll need to get a goal though. Robbie DeMont, who scored in the first quarter. DeMont dribbling ahead. Wet pass up top, broken up by Tumolo. And I believe Penn State calls timeout. Full timeout, Penn State. The Lions have 1 remaining. 4:21 remaining in the fourth quarter. PSU in dark 15. Army in white 13. Penn State has 1 full and 0 30-second timeouts remaining. Penn State will have possession out of the timeout. Lady Lions finished in 11th last year at Kearns-Zakura Park in Salt Lake City. Ball is not loose yet. Skip shot, but Penn State makes them pay. How about Fensel never giving up? Penn State goal scored by number 4 in dark, Matthew Fensel, his 4th. The Mini Lions now lead 16-13 under 3 minutes remaining. Time running out here for the Cadets. But time is of the essence there. It's Max Orlowski. Or is it Robbie DeMont? DeMont with the goal. Army goal scored by number 2 in white, Robbie DeMont, his 2nd. 16-14 Lions with 2:40 to go in regulation. So DeMont keeping things an arm's length, but not this time. That's Fensel again. Penn State goal scored by number 4 in dark, Matthew Fensel. His 3rd of the quarter and 5th of the game. Penn State 17, Army 14. 2:25 to go in regulation. Ball is jarred loose inside its own territory by Penn State. Nittany Lions with 1 more goal could most likely solidify and mark this an 8th straight loss by a New York Division team in National Collegiate Club Championship play. Cornell won a placement game, I believe, in 2021 in Huntsville, Alabama. Believe it was offsides or offensive foul under 2 minutes remaining. John Baca will not call timeout though. Now Nittany Lions. Ryan McLaughlin does his job. Penn State goal scored by number 7 in dark, Ryan McLaughlin. He's got a few. 18-14 Nittany Lions with 1:40 remaining in regulation. Cadets running out of room, running out of time. Cadets have hung in there the whole time. And sails over the bullseye. Looks like there'll be an exclusion as well. And that may be too late for Army, which will likely play the loser of Game 11, which is Oregon and Iowa State in Game 24 tomorrow. While Penn State will face the winner of Oregon and Iowa State. Under a minute remaining regulation. We got Oregon and Iowa State to come for Game 11 after this one. And then Colorado and Florida State in Game 12 to conclude a lengthy day of fun action and water polo. Lots of scoring. Broken up, and it'll be timeout John Baca. Up under 30 seconds. 30-second timeout, Army. 29 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Penn State 18, Army 14. And the Army bench wanted to know the last exclusion by Army, what the player did. The coaches just want to be on the same page as the referees and players. And now an outlet. It would have been interesting if Army wanted to go 7-on-6. Clock has restarted. This could be the last possession for Army in this one. Out of bounds. Shot clock's unplugged, and that should be just about it. Boy, both of these teams fought hard, but in the end, Danny Crump, Matthew Fensel, Louis Porter, and company, too much. Army is going to play for 13th place tomorrow, but 9th place still alive for the Nittany Lions.
The final score in Game 10. Pennsylvania State and the Dark Caps 18. United States Military and the Whitecaps 14. Penn State would face the winner of Game 11 and Game 18 tomorrow. Army faces the loser of Game 11 and Game 24 tomorrow. Our next game is Game 11 featuring the Oregon Ducks and the Iowa State Cyclones. Our player of the game, scoring more than a handful of goals, Louis Porter for Penn State. We will be starting this next game in 3 minutes.